What's up guys, it's Fuzz here. Welcome back to another CSGO inventory building video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a $500 red inventory that you can build with all the prices accurate as of the 29th of March. We do have a knife included in this. We're going to show 3 options for you guys. We don't have gloves, we do have 2 agent skins you can use, and then there's 25 other skins included throughout it, which is pretty nice for the price. If you do enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're into it, and let's dive right into it. Now, I'm actually going to kick things off with the agents because they're the only 2 I can't show on the server. The first one is going to be for T side. You're going to pick up Resin the Ready Saber. He is $3.16. Also, I've used a mix of third-party sites for this rather than Steam prices because you save so much money. We'll detail that at the end. This is my favorite red combo. Obviously, the red jacket, then plus the sort of like the sleeve into then what is like just black gloves, so it doesn't clash with any red skins. It's super nice. And unfortunately, you don't have any great red options on the CT side, but you do have the FBI sniper, which is basically full grey, which means you're not going to have any clash with your guns either. So that's the 2 agents out of the way. Now, much like yesterday's video, I have assigned about $200 max for the knife and gloves, which in this case we can't get gloves with how expensive red knives are, but about $200 for the knife options, and then we have about $300 for the rest of the skins. The first knife I have is going to be the NAVAJA Slaughter in minimal wear for $161, so a good bit under that budget. It is a NAVAJA knife though, which I know is a little bit hit and miss for some people, but it's a clean slaughter finish, which is really nice. I think, especially if you want like a nice theme skin on it, but you don't want to be paying a premium, then NAVAJA and the gut knife kind of offer that for you. But the shadow daggers can also do a similar thing. So this is going to be the field tested Crimson Web shadow daggers. They're $156. Similar pricing to the NAVAJA. I know some people just don't like the shadow daggers and maybe field test that you want your knife to be above that, but there's still another good alternative, especially with this budget, for getting a red knife in. And then finally we have a battle scarred gut knife AUTOTRONIC, which is $194. And although it's battle scarred, it still looks super good in game. It's actually one of the few gut knives that doesn't have an ugly handle because it replaces it with that sort of grey and black finish. Now, that's the 3 different knives. Obviously, I've set a $200 budget, so saying maybe you want to go get a black laminate instead, you by all means do. Essentially, there's $200 to go pick a knife off your choice that would fit into your red inventory. Unfortunately, this is the sort of level we're looking at for it. The only alternative is to maybe spend $400 of the $500 budget, and then you might be able to pick up like a nice slaughter on like a paracord, a survival, something like that. But we're trying to get a nice even spread, so take the knife of your choice, and let's have a look at the rifles now. So we started on T side yesterday, so I want to start CT today. First up, we're going to have a minimal wear, the Traitor USP, upgraded from field tested to minimal wear from the $250 budget. This is insanely good, like $22, one of the best USPs in the game. Obviously, it's a brightness skin, so field test is fine, but that brightness jump to minimal wear is super clean. It's got that red with the gold, just such a nice option. And then over on the A4, we're actually going to go very cheap. We're going to spend under $5 and pick up an M4A4 Evil Daimyo, which is one of my favorite skins in general. It's like not over the top flashy, but the colors that are there are vibrant and pop, and I'm a big fan of that. The A1S is where we're going to spend a little bit more though, because we're going to pick up a minimal wear Shantico's Fire for just under $43. This one, I'm aware, is not everyone's cup of tea. Maybe you'd prefer a Cyrex. By all means, you can switch out for this. But I kind of like the Shantico's Fire. I like that red and gold that you're getting, similar to the red and gold you're getting from the Traitor as well. So you get a little bit of similarity between the USP and then also onto your A1S. For the Glock and AK combo, I think they're both like just no-brainer decisions. For the Glock, you're going to pick up a water elemental, just over $7 in minimal wear. This is pattern based, so you can get a little bit more blue on it if you wanted to, based on the pattern you pick up, but super clean option. And then for the AK, it's going to be a minimal wear Bloodsport, which looks incredible. It's actually coming down in price a little bit recently. It was increasing drastically with the hype of CS2 coming around the corner. It is that reddy orange as well, so you know, if you wanted to mix this on slightly different, you do have that opportunity for it, but it's a super clean skin. And I'm actually super pleased with the options across the board for the main rifles and pistols here. So Desert Eagle is going to be $23 for a field tested Code Red. Again, brightness skin though, so even if field tested, this looks incredible in game. Like just getting those one taps will look so good with this. And then the op is also going to be field tested, and it's going to be a wildfire. And the reason you get field tested, if you get a good float field tested, that you only see the wear really at the back of the gun. This is a higher field tested float, which is why near the middle of the gun you see a little bit more wear. But it's just under $60 in field tested. The jump up to minimum wear is a decent jump. So maybe if you went for a cheaper knife, like maybe you went for like the shadow daggers for $150 rather than the gut knife for near $200, that's where you could go to a minimal wear wildfire if you wanted to. Then over on the P250, we're going to run with the Mortos in minimal wear for just over $4. This is a super clean pistol in general. Nevermore is the other option, but this just wins out for me. And then the Scout is going to be a Dragonfire, which is listed as a red skin, but it's not too red. It's mostly actually like blue and orangey with a little tint of red throughout, but it's on all the sites as being red. It's one of the best Scouts in the game. There's no other great red alternative, so I'm going to count this in. The 5.7 is none other than the Urban Hazard, which is super cheap at under $1 in factory new, but it looks so good. And then also for the ill, we're going to run with a Signal, which is $1.17 for factory new. Just fits in super nicely. The other option would have been a Firefight, so take a pick between those. They're very similarly priced. For the dual Berettas, I refuse to pay the hemoglobin's price. It's just too much for a pistol like this. So instead, what we're going to do is pick up some factory new Panthers for just under $2. And then we're going to pair these with a FAMASI Valence minimal wear for just under $2.50. Obviously, this skin is mostly that sort of black, steel, grey kind of colour with the red accents throughout, but it still looks nice. For the Take 9, I'm changing it from the Isaac, and I'm going to go for the Re-Entry, which is kind of like this reddish orange into blue skin. So maybe it's not a perfect red, but I will say I've got sick of using the Isaac. I want something a little bit different, and this is what was popping up. And then for the AUG, we're going to run for a Radiation Hazard factory new for $1.37. This is one that I think will look a little bit better in CS2. Hopefully they give it a little bit of a refresh, but even so, it's still, like, considering the AUG options right there that Valve have continually lacked on the AUG options, this is still solid. We now have pistols over and done with, so we're going to finish the rifles, and then we're going to the SMGs and the shotguns. For the rifles, for the SG, to finish things off, it has to be a Darkwing. There's a Darkwing, there's a Cyber Force, there's one other option you could have that I'm sort of forgetting the name of right now. But factory new for this, $1.75, best SG in the game in my opinion. 100% worth the pickup. Over on the MAC-10, we keep it very cheap and pick up a Candy Apple for $0.25, but it's factory new and it looks insane. Honestly, the fact that I get why this is so cheap, so much supply and whatnot, it pops up so easily, but like the gold brick MAC-10 can be like dead expensive, and this is essentially just a red version of it, which for a red inventory is absolutely perfect. We get another Bloodsport in here with the MP7, and I in general try to avoid showing auto sniper skins, but you can also get a auto sniper Bloodsport if you want that as well. The MP9 is going to be a Ruby Poison Dart, which is actually a skin that has grown on me a lot recently. This looks super good for the prices. Factory new for $1.79. Over on the PP Bison side of things, we also have a Candy Apple. Very similar to the MAC-10. There's not too much to write home about. It's super cheap. Actually, it's like 3 cents different in price. Obviously, it looks nice for a red inventory too. You're not going to use it as much because it's not in the meta, but it's nice to have it in there. And then the end of the SMGs is going to be a UMP45 full stop, which is essentially like a red camo. This is also factory new and under $1. Over on the XM side of things, we're going to pick up a Seasons factory new for just under $2. What's worth noting for the Seasons is it's a pattern based skin. So I've opted, this is actually the one I own, I opted to get one that had quite a lot of red leaves in it without having a big overpay. So I actually got it for under the Steam price, but not as cheap as some of the ones with green leaves in it are. So make sure you check the pattern. You get one that has a lot of red in it, and this fits into red inventory is great. I'm actually opting for the Koi for the Nova. I think there was a Candy Apple Nova that you could have gone for, but we've got so many Candy Apples in here. And the Koi is kind of nice for that white, the red, and the black. It's a pretty clean sort of finish on a Nova. Not that you use them much in game. And then finally, for the Mag-7, we're going to have a Core Breach, which is kind of similar to like the Radiation Hazard AUG we're looking at in regards to pattern, but that's going to round off our $500 red CSGO inventory. Now, as usual, please let me know which skin, and also in this case, which knife and then which skin from the guns was your favourite. It's always good feedback to get. And I also want to highlight the pricing here. As we've said, as we hit the $500 budget for the themed inventories, I highly recommend going to third-party sites because that's where you'll get the best deals. So depending on the knife that you picked up from this, it's going to cost anywhere between $465 and $500. So obviously for the cheaper knife we left a little bit of wiggle room in there, and like I mentioned, you can use that to upgrade the AWP or stuff like that, wherever you feel. But compared to Steam, this means that you've saved anywhere between $105 and $122. So essentially what would be a $600 to $620 budget, you're picking it up for $500, and in some cases under $500, which is absolutely insane. So make sure you let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you're around here. We are going to do blue next, but if you've got any sort of themes or requests, please let me know. I'm always happy to have a consideration and see if it fits into the sort of content we're going to make. As I said, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.